Raheem Nelson here for No Starving Artists. I'm here with Leo Chan and Alicia Mara from Levitate Style.
Hey!
How are you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Cool. So, can you tell me what you guys do for Levitate Style? What's the brand all about?
Alright, well, let's see. Levitate Style is a menswear and travel blog based here in New York City. We started together about 4.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And basically just covering everything in a men's life, lifestyle, fashion, and our travels around the world together. Overall, just really encouraging guys to dress better, to live better, and to obviously see more of the world.
Great. Dress better and live better. So, where are some of the places you have traveled?
So, very, very thankfully, we've really been blessed with the opportunity to travel around the world. I think we've covered something like 40 something countries now.
44 countries.
So many cities. But
favorite countries?
Yeah, favorites. That's good.
Italy.
Definitely Italy. Yeah, that's like
France.
France is great.
South Africa.
Nice.
Yeah, I really love Spain and Japan as well.
Yeah.
Like Spain, I really, really love Barcelona.
Yeah, me too.
Japan, even though I'm from Hong Kong, which I love Hong Kong, I really love Japan. There's so much different architecture, different food, and Tokyo is just crazy. It's next level. It feels like the future.
Nice.
There's just so many great places.
We loved Istanbul.
Oh yeah,
cool,
Istanbul's
cool.
amazing too.
That's the top one.
Yeah, that's off the top of our head, I guess.
Yeah.
Those that's a lot, but yeah.
No, that's great. Great answer to the question. So, what sets Levitate Style apart from the other influencer brands out there?
Yeah, from the start, from the very beginning, 4.5 years ago, and this was always kind of been one of our main objective, one of our things to offer in the niche and the market is that I'm one of the very few Asian guys doing this, and for me, from the start, was really about representation, and that's the opportunity, that's the gap, that's the niche I saw from the beginning, and that was something kind of growing up, reading GQ magazine, shopping, and watching TV, watching movies. I never really saw Asian guys, at least in a positive way.
Right.
And so from the very start, that was always if I want to see this change, I'm going to be the change.
Yeah.
And I can't just sit and wait around for somebody else to do it. I'm going to take my photos, I'm going to blast my photos everywhere on the internet.
That's right.
And so if someone's looking up men's fashion, I hope my photo pops up.
Yeah.
And I hope that the Asian community, or even minorities in general, they see photos like us, and they can find someone they can feel familiar with, and they can see themselves.
Look up to.
So they can see themselves, they can look up to somebody through our work. And so from the very beginning, that was definitely.
And I mean not just Asian male representation, but also immigrant representation.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a big one.
It's just crazy because it's part of my life, right? And so I never thought about it that way. When I first started the blog, I didn't think I'm gonna talk about being an immigrant. But obviously, as times have changed and the conversations are going on and the dialogue is shifting, I'm noticing more and more that when I talk about these things, that's very dear to my heart and this is my life. A lot of people can relate to that because there are so many immigrants in this country and other countries too, that they can all relate to that kind of story. And I think that from the very beginning sets me apart from others. In terms of, I think, actual fashion wise, I come from a finance background. So I studied accounting, I worked at Morgan Stanley and Barclays. So for me, from the very start, it was always about suits and menswear, just learning how to dress sharp, first impression, going from anything in menswear, from suits to dress shoes, all that kind of stuff. But I also grew up in New York City as an immigrant, so I love basketball, I love sneakers. I was a sneakerhead before I was a suits guy. So I think I'm in a position where it's kind of unique in a way. It's I can really combine the both. There's
Yeah.
not really just one or the other for me. Like I
Right.
love both equally. I love basketball just as much as I love biker jackets. You know, like
Yeah.
all kinds of things in menswear. And for me, it's just also challenging myself to how to incorporate both of those worlds, not just street style, but also menswear, and try to do both equally well or mix them up. So that's where I feel like I'm a little different from others.
And also, like, I feel like there's kind of a niche or an idea of, like, there's fashion bloggers and then there's travel bloggers, but from the beginning, like, we always love to travel, so we do create a lot of travel content, whether that's, like, a city guide or, you know, stuff like that. We've always had travel as a part.
Yeah, just trying to
Encourage people to see the world.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And
Broaden your horizon.
Right.
just
right.
keeping ourselves busy, keeping ourselves like these are all the things that we love, our passion, and just like keeping ourselves in different industry and like trying to do everything and at the same time work everything in together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the variety that the Levitate style brand has. You know, like it's always like something new. Like it's never boring when I'm on the page, and I follow both your accounts too, by the way. And it's cool to see you guys photograph each other.
Yeah.
So, how do you riff off of each other when it comes to the photography? You know, say if you guys are in like Barcelona, like how does it go for when you're composing shots and like maybe you want a certain pose or a certain vibe? What's that process look like?
Well, I think from the beginning it's obviously a lot of like location scouting.
Yep.
So there's definitely times where we spend like a week before the trip kind of scouting out like the best places that we want to visit, the most important places, the most iconic places.
Yeah.
And for me, as the years of traveling have gone by, I noticed that like if I'm going to be in Barcelona, I'm going to show you in these photos I'm in Barcelona. Like you're going to see the
Something in it.
landmark, the most iconic spots in my photo, because I want you to see this photo and right away you're like, this is Barcelona.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I don't want it to just like capture a random street where it's a vibe, but like I want people to know exactly where I am, and I want those photos to be very clear. And then so with the location scouting, you know, just looking up like the best spots and then where you can really capture the whole the essence of it, like the architecture, at the same time capture like full body. For me, like because I do love shoes so much, I'm like I need the full body. Like I want people to see the whole outfit.
Yep.
So for me, it's always thinking about full body first, and then so that's essentially like that's the thinking process. And then I think when it comes down to shooting, we
I feel like it's casual. Like when we're traveling, it's very casual because it's like if we're just in a spot, we're like, this is good. I like how this looks right now that I'm seeing it. Like, let's take it here.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's also hard sometimes, like, I want this exact same photo, same spot that you might see, because you never know, like, it might have been open for just a day or it's too busy. So when you're there, you want to just kind of keep your eye open, just, like, look around, see how the lighting is, and, like, see how you can capture it a little bit different, or what works for you. And then when it comes to kind of, like, posing and stuff, I think we like take each other's photos, kind of take turns.
Sometimes like I might not see his vision or understand exactly the photo he wants, and like I take it and I think it looks amazing. I'm like, oh look, and he's like, that's not what I wanted. Like let me take it of you.
Yeah.
Take it exactly how I take it of you. And I'm like, okay.
So it's good, like, because then you kind of take turns. Like I take her photo the way I want my photo.
Right.
So then she knows exactly like where she needs to stand, how to take it, the angle, and all that kind of stuff. And then we'll take turns, and then her photo sometimes she really loves like more like half body, more of a portrait style, more like a vibey photo.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like we all want different things, and so it's really just like taking turns, capturing each other's content, and then, you know, working out what works best.
Great.
Yeah.
So what do you love about Dumbo?
I mean, there's so many things I love about Dumbo, and I'm so happy to call this like our new home. I mean, like for years I will come down to Dumbo here to take photos. It's just such a beautiful, scenic spot. You have both the Brooklyn Bridge and the Manhattan Bridge, and then of course you have the entire New York City skyline. But I think there's just so much history down here too. You know, just this used to be like the old factory. This like port, right? And so you have the cobblestones, you have, I mean, just have all that like near city vibe, and it's just so inspiring when you're down there, and when you can look on one, you look on one corner, you got the Manhattan Bridge, and you just literally turn your head and it's the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it looks completely different, and it's just like perfect for any photographer. It's just like a dream to shoot down there.
It's just easy to be inspired in Dumbo, I think.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's just so beautiful. So like the convenience part of it is, you can take one photo and then a block later is a completely different photo, and they're all like amazing spots, amazing shots. And so this is this is why this is exactly why we chose to live nearby here now.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So my last question is, with all the clients that you work for and service and all the content you're creating, how do you find a healthy work-life balance?
We don't really have a work-life balance, but like the work is part of our life, but it's something we enjoy, so it doesn't feel like work all the time.
Okay, so you're doing what you love.
I mean, like, we're very thankful to be doing what we're obviously very passionate about, and like the creative work keeps us going. Like sometimes it feels like, oh, like I wanna shoot more, I wanna work more.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's hard to say work life, because work is part of the life, and then life is the work.
Yeah.
So, but we do wanna, when we're near city, there are a lot of things happening. So we do want to keep a good schedule, a routine somewhat, even though it's crazy. So I mean, like, for example, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, like we have a lot of events that we go to. So we know those days, like we'll be in the city, go to a few events.
Yeah.
So those days we'll schedule coffee meetings. So we'll schedule the meetings, and we can shoot depending on where we're in the city to keep things fresh. And then on Mondays and Fridays, we tend to stay at home, like really work from home, whether it's shooting video content or just working out, planning things, working on content.
Yeah.
So just having that kind of balance does help a lot, because then you're not so drained and thinking every day you need to be at 100% or you need to do so much in one day.
Yeah.
You can really plan out your week. And then, having your weekend is really just like hang out with friends and family, and in those days we try not to shoot at all, like no cameras, if anything just an iPhone.
And I think also like kind of work-life balance, but it's like because we can set our own schedule and work when we want, like somewhat, like if we have family come in, we can just drop everything basically and just spend time with family. And I mean, if we're out, we'll take photos and stuff, but we don't need to be like working that whole day. Like we're just like, okay, someone's here, like we're just gonna spend the whole day with them.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah. I think another good work-life balance tip is that, like, ideally as a creator, as an artist, whatever it is you want to call, you should be getting better and better and better at your craft. So that when it comes to your work, you can do it better and faster.
Exactly, exactly.
So for me now, I know all the near city spots that I want to take my photos in. So whether it's spending time with people or just us two shooting for a project, like I'm not walking around aimlessly for an hour and trying to figure out the best way to shoot. Like I know exactly in 5 minutes we're gonna get this done.
Wow.
And like, but but that's part of your experience and part of, as a creator, you want to achieve that kind of like quickness, expertise per se, right?
Exactly.
And so like when you get better at that, it makes work-life balance a lot easier, because you know, like, okay, I just need this here 5-10 minutes, I'm good. I just need this here really quick.
Easy.
And that is a good way to balance, like, really like the work-life part.
All right, perfect. So where can people find you on the web?
Okay, well, you can find us on Instagram at Levitate Style. We also have a blog, www.levitatestyle.com. And in the past year, we've been working very hard on video content. So you can find us on YouTube as well.
Levitate Style.
Levitate Style.
All right. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thanks for hosting me too.
Yeah, of course.
Got it.
All right.